Hello everybody, welcome back to Sunless Sea. So I've returned to London. It was a straight trip, we didn't encounter any trouble along the way. The lights of London welcome you home. Collect the messages from the Harbour Master. We shall do that. Let's see. All the song of the dockside soothes the soul. Here are the messages for you. Not really. Oh, a little gift, okay. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My, what you might call, mentor, is very fond of adventurous sea captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation, on account of he is so fond of sea captains. Behind the Blind Bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Let's inquire further. He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronized by sailors and by men of wit and vinegar, a public house. And there is no obligation to speak of. My patron would only hope that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. Alright, we'll take it. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's Head. Should that day come, he will make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct that you might require. Good evening to you. Alright, so we got 5 supplies and 10 fuel out of that, which is good because we were down to 1 fuel. Let's go to our house. Let's read the papers to get recent news again. And we'll try to hold on to that this time. See if we can get a fair ways off, and then maybe we can get some money for it. We could go sleep at the Blind Helmsman, which would cost us 10 echoes. Or we could do a bunch of stuff that's currently locked. So we'll just ignore that for now. Let's go to London. Let's go carouse in Wolfstack Docks. This will reduce your terror. You might run into trouble or romance. Sea shanties, good companionship, and the warmth of a pub fire. You've lost, it cost us $30. You now have 1 recent news. Again, maybe. You were fortunate. You've lost 5 terror. Alright, let's go to the Admiralty. Guider's Mourn. Now have 1 Admiralty's favor. Your visit to Guider's Mourn has been confirmed in the Admiralty record offices. You no longer have Port Report Guider's Mourn. Gained $30. Okay, let's go to Hunter's Keep. Gained another Admiralty's favor. Your visit to Hunter's Keep has been confirmed. You've gained 5 Echo. Fender Bite. You've gained Admiralty's favor. 10 Echo. So the further it is, the more money you get for visiting it and returning. Shepherd's Isles. Submit as unsubstantiated hearsay. Or high-risk challenge. High-risk Veils challenge. 19% chance of success with our current Veils. Unsubstantiated hearsay. And we got $10 for that, so that's fine. Alright, very good. So, if there's anything else they need... Actually... pass on strategic information. There we go, we had that. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he... Oh, we're talking to an admiral. You're ushered into his office of Mansion's Pyre, a cramped room with vast desk. He surveys you across that desk. Ah, yes, the merchant captain, of whom we hear such complicated things. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory, he says at last. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The clerk will see you paid. We've got 150 Echo for turning in that, information. Ask what the Admiral needs. Visit a port. Okay, so he just wants us to go visit a port. Let's go back to the main Admiralty. Or can we not? Okay. submit our port reports? Maybe we can't get another quest from them right now. Well, I guess that's fine. Hire on more crew. Lean pickings, you've lost 1 terror, you've gained 1 crew. Lost $15, alright. And we already went carousing. Let's offer passage to tomb colonists again, because we can get a couple more dollars out of them. New recruit. Who awaits your attention? Engaged an officer, brisk campaigner. Boy, you need a real physician, none of you are surgeons. Brisk campaigner is a skilled doctor who increases hearts and iron. I like that. Let's go, yeah, let's get her. So if we go over to officers, we now have a brisk campaigner. We can assign her, and she is now our surgeon, which is fine. And I like that she increases our damage. Let's go into the shops here. Now, there are some things that we can sell. But there are only a few things we can buy. So a cask of mushroom ale costs 21. Prisoner's honey costs 25. And those are the ones I've usually seen around. So 21 and 25. If we can find a place where we can sell those for higher, that might be worth doing. Because a new engine costs 500 for the next tier up. And if the Admiralty... It seems like this guy wants us to do something, but he's not giving us anything to do. Like, there should be the Admiralty option there, but it's not there now. What if we just leave... What if we just leave the city for a second here? No. Alright, maybe we'll have to go away and come back. Well, without a quest... Or do we have a quest? Retrieve information from Khan's Heart, east of London. So we did pick it up, but I didn't even notice. Okay, retrieve strategic information from Khan's Heart, east of London. Well, that must be far to the east, then. And maybe we won't be able to return in the tomb colonists this time. Let's just head out, I guess. So east of London. Presumably... even further east than Guider's Morn. But this is actually good. We can see what the prices are at Guider's Morn and see if we can sell those things. What was it? It was like 21 for the mushroom wine and 25 for the honey. And we're going to fight this crab. Alright. We'll do a couple Seeks and we'll do a couple of these. Now, each of your attacks also has a limit on how much illumination is required before you can actually use it. So this one requires 50 illumination. One Seek action got us up to 31 there. And presumably if we had higher mirrors, it would do more. But this guy's got low HP. He's only got 5, so we can take him out in one shot. We could butcher it for supplies, or we could dissect it for knowledge. Just dissect it. You said to work with your knives and acids. It is an undistinguished adolescent specimen, a megalops of one of the deep sea crab species, but its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, though sparks leap now and then to your knife. We got one fragment and we succeeded in a pages challenge. Very good. You know what? We could probably stop at that shepherd's place on the way out. Where's that? Yeah, let's do that. We'll stop there, we'll stop at Guider's Morn, and then we'll continue on to the east. Sounds like a good idea. And then maybe, depending on how far east it is, maybe we'll end the episode out there. And then make our way back. Now, fighting most of these guys, like, you don't earn experience points, so fighting them, if you can avoid it, is sometimes, it seems, the best option. Although there is the option that you can observe them, so if they're not able to do a lot of damage to you, You can earn some knowledge fragments and some secrets that way. There you go, Field Haven. That's where we want to make a first stop, and then I think we'll come back, if we can, kind of on a southerly trajectory, and kind of see what's going on down there. So we'll dock here, go to the Shepherd's Isle, picnic at the Standing Stones, Tales of the Standing Stones, Tales of Three Graves. We already saw that one. Tales of Thornwell Croft. We did have a bridge, but the Ship of Lights came through here once. Hull of shining brass, lamps like stars. All those damned on deck at once. Couldn't tell if they were laughing or screaming. Plowed through the bridge and kept on going. Everyone who tries to rebuild it bursts into flames. So we don't try to rebuild it anymore. Okay, so we've gained 5 knowledge from that. We'll compile a port report of various tales and head off. You know what, let's fight this crab. I haven't fought a big one yet, let's fight this one. Come at me, crab. Alright. So, he's got 100. Now, he probably, I'm gonna guess, has pretty good veils, because he's got those 2 glowing eyes hanging off the front of him. Or good mirrors, yeah, he's got pretty good mirrors. But, I think we have enough. Yeah, we'll be able to get some shots on him. He's gonna try an appalling cry, which is going to do some kind of damage to us. Oh, 40 or 35 hull damage, that's not good. Let's get some of these out. One more hit and he's down. He's gonna get another hit on us. Please don't kill us. Nope. Very good. Butcher it. Let's get some supplies out of him. We now have 12 an unprepossessing mass. What is that? An appalling blob of organic matter and dripping fluids retrieved from somewhere you'd rather not think about. There's probably something horrible inside, but possibly there is not. Suitable for smoking, you can probably preserve this to eat at your leisure. Fling it overboard. Okay. Edible if salty. Keep it against a hungrier day. All shall be well, and all manner of the things shall be well. Well, we got 1 supplies out of butchering it, so that's fine. But we took a lot of damage, and I think it takes a little while to really repair. So we gotta get to Guider's Morn, over in this direction. Our terror is getting kind of worryingly high. It's at 39. That concerns me. We're not far from Guider's Morn. Maybe we can reduce a little bit of the terror there. But it never seems to be able to reduce it, you know, to a really significant extent. I get a feeling we're probably going to end up maxing it out at some point. I'm not sure what happens at that... in that situation. So, Guider's Morn. Z-bats cry out. They are nothing like birds. And this guy's still motoring around. So we'll pull up here. Evening at the Errant Limpet. We could try that. We could explore the Morn again. Let's try the evening out. It cost us $50. And we failed and we got a terror. A drinking den by the dock cradles in a good place for your crew to find companionship and let off steam. But although Guider's Morn is a free port, the Corsairs prefer their own and look askance at respectable Londoners. You never learn who said what, but someone ends up pushed out a window. It's a long drop out there. The Errant Limpet trebles dangerously as the brawl gathers momentum. Alright. We could try fighting. Yeah, let's try fighting. You smash a wiry villain to the ground, trip over an incoming blade, leap to the neighboring perch, and send its occupant down the long, long way to the waters below. Your shipmates dispatch another 2 with well-flung rocks. The others flee, leaving 1 corpse for you to loot. Well, it's the law of the Z. Alright, we got $19 back from that, and we succeeded in an iron challenge. Try gathering information, I guess. We succeeded at a Vales challenge. We now have one port report of Guider's Morn. The steaming bathhouse on a spur of rock. Water slops over the edge of tubs, out over the edge to join the Z far below. Scarred captains boast drunkenly of their prizes they've taken and the victims they have marked out. You listen from the shadows. Alright, so we got something we can turn in back at home. Sounds good. Now we need to head out to the east. There's a ship down there, so I'm going to go a little bit north of that. Now he won't be able to turn properly, so we can just motor on past. Maybe. I think we're faster than him. One other option we have to do is here, we can send out the Z-Bat search, which will kind of... We send out a little bat. He looks around. If you find something, then we can kind of mark it on the map. This part of the Untersee, Stone Soul Isles, has not been created. Check back in a later build. Okay, so I guess it's not here then. I don't think I mentioned in the last episode, but this is actually an early access game, so parts of it doesn't exist, and it looks like this part is not a part we should be in. So we'll head back. Send out the Z-Bat. See if he finds anything. New Connate is some distance to the south. Perfect, that's where we want to go, I think. New Connate. Thank you, Z-Bat. Is this it? Discovered Khan's Glory. That sounds like what we're looking for. Where's the port? A lot of guns. Really big gun there. Nice little music here, too. Now, were we supposed... Oh, can we just go under this? Is this a bridge we can cross under? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, and there's our dock. Perfect. What's up, guys? Khan's Glory, the House of Ancestors, Wolf. Taman. Alright. Khan's Glory. Offer a gift. Cruise past the Khan palaces. Khan's Glory has steely beauty, but the clan lords are ever suspicious of spies, and those gun emplacements are vigilant. Let's try. Strength and brilliance. The light blazes from every gate and window. You glimpse guards in gleaming uniforms, subterranean gardens of mauve and purple, hanging ornaments of scaled carnelian and jade. Warriors of statues of warrior Khans past. The water is dark and calm. The centuries watch you with calm distrust. We now have one. The white and golds are watching you. Kaganian suspicion. Gained one memory of distant shores. You have succeeded in a Vales challenge. We've lost 2 terror. Alright. Now, why is this locked? Unlocked with 5 sack of dark... Okay, if we brought dark drop coffee beans here, we can give an offer to the leopard. The royal clan of the Khan. So if we bring coffee, we can do that. Petition for access to the Nephrite Quarter. For that, we need leopard's condescension, which presumably we get from that. Offer a gift to Timon. He wants drowning pearl. Plead your case. Now... Retrieve strategic information from Khan's heart. So this isn't even where we're supposed to be. This is kind of... We're at, somewhere else. And they don't have any shops. And we can't do anything else here. So I guess that's it for this place. Send out the Z-Bat. New Connate close by to the northwest. Could that be where we want to go? What if we set out the Z-Bat from here? New Connate, some distance to the south. That's where we want to be. Khan's Heart. I believe that... Oh, there it is. So I wonder if we went up the river in London. Because this place has a couple ports. I wonder if we would run into other ports. Interesting. We'll have to think about that. Khan's Heart. Here we go. Time in the tea house, hire crew. Purchase supplies at a ludicrous price. We don't need to do that. Pay a storyteller. Find your contact. The Khanate is wary of Imperial supplies. Go very carefully. You have half the directions you need. The others should be at a dead drop on the docks. We have a 20% chance of doing that. Well, let's try it. You find the address, but the street outside is thronged with white and gold uniforms. Loiter on the corner. There are two hard-faced men in no uniform, but their own authority are directing operations. Their white uniformed henchmen manhandle an unconscious body into a waiting boat. Your contact. Back to your ship, quickly. Alright, so they killed our contact. They're getting suspicious of me. We've gained one terror, and we failed, and we've completed the mission. Pay a storyteller. Storytellers in the Golden Cedars wear brightly colored caftan-like clothing with silk sashes. In contrast to the more sober and subterranean dress of the citizenry, for coin, even foreign coin, they'll sing epics. Oh, sorry. The epics of their nation's history. For $5, maybe we can get something. Fall of Karakoram. The last great Khan of the surface was corrupt and foolish and cowardly. How fortunate we are that the Leopard clan overthrew his line. Long may the Leopard clan endure. He sold the Khanate's capital to the city of the Masters of the Bazaar to satisfy his greed and escape battle. So Karakoram fell. So it came below the earth to the long night of the Neath. 700 years ago, Karakoram stood where London now stands. You feel eyes on you. A woman in white gold uniform watches you closely. The loyalty service is suspicious of foreigners who want to learn Kaganian history. Alright. They're getting more and more suspicious of me. What's... Go to the tea house? Sure. Gentle trickling music plays behind the screens of painted weedwood. Khanate merchants sip tea and swap stories of darker-skinned elder continent captains. You sip pale golden tea and wince at the bill. $50. Wow. That was probably not worth it. We probably can't... 30% chance of gathering intelligence. I'm not even going to risk it. And there's no shops. Alright, I guess we're done here. See if we can get out. Maybe this way and then kind of loop around back towards London. Unfortunately, we're not going to make a lot of money off of this. I don't think. We can't even sell anything here, so even if we... Is that guy coming after us? Discovered a Khanate war tiraman from Salt Seas, some tipperman. So that's probably what that thing is. Oh, he's slower than we are, so that's fine. And you know, who knows? Oh, here's something else. So we can stop in here. Maybe this will get us something that we can spend, or we can get money for back at the Admiralty. Some kind of other settlement. The hungry dead. Your cook is outraged. One of the tomb colonists is woken from his coffin to rest and found his way to the stores. When the cook came across him, he had consumed half a wheel of cheese and an alarming quantity of suet. Fling him overboard, he can walk home. Return him to the hold, perhaps he'll stay put this time. Well, he is worth $15. Expostulating all the way. If you had provided me with more commodious quarters, if this ship did not pitch so abominably. A man grows bored, you know. Death is deathly dull. And so forth, and so forth. It is a relief when the coffin lid closes. If only you could nail it shut. I lost one supply. But if we get back to Venderbite, he's actually worth money. A lonely desert beach. There is no habitation in sight, no market, very little in the way of maintained dock. A stretch of sand thickens into damp black earth, from which sprout stunted palms? Not quite. Tall fungal growths, with frond-like caps, as if someone sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. These growths appear sparse near the beach, but clump closer together the further inland one goes, clustering tightly into a sort of forest around the base of the island's central hill. Here you see, off in the distance, dots of fire flecking the horizon, and hear clamor, shouts, and shot. If you look to the quay, you can make out the unusual shapes of two tiny figures. Let's check it out. What's going on? War? As you step to the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shot. You can see off in the... Okay. So, the figures are rodents. To your left is a Rattus Faber wearing goggles, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To your right is an unusually large guinea pig wearing a helmet and breastplate, reminiscent of nothing so much as the high Middle Ages. The rat steps forward first and bows. Welcome, Captain, to Ratstar Island. I am Edgar, second chief engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The rat steps back at precisely the same moment, with what appears to be the ease of long habit. The guinea pig scuttles forward and makes a declamatory chirp. Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Cavia. I am Lady Augusta Devereux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches, Seneschal to our King Gracenaw, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice. The two stand at attention, looking at you expectantly. So they want us to choose between them. What choice? The two remarkable rodents stand, sit, squat before you. To whom will you speak first? Chief Engineer of the Seneschal. The rat or the guinea pig? The rat. You ask the chief engineer to elaborate. He looks at you for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. We came to this island to make a home for ourselves away from London, its cats and snuffers, its rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city out of by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat. The chief engineer nods towards the distant hill. One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon, and our flag. But the pigs of Cavies saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours. We will resist to our last breath. Will you join us in defeating them? Okay, let's speak to the woman. The Seneschal clears her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. Gracenaw the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land, and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain. No city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind the mountain. Unlucky was the lamb of our deliverance, assuredly shall be our glories in their fall, when our lady's eye restored be to our hall. The Seneschal composes herself and then adds, We saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Caviat, but the rats, with their guns and their clatter, and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? So I guess we have to favor the chief engineer of the Seneschal. We could attempt to broker a peace. Let's try that. Hubris. The chief engineer and Seneschal share a look, and then regard you with scornful amusement. Yes, smirks the chief engineer, you've obviously much cleverer than us. Oh, much, murmurs the Seneschal, and clearly knows much better than we. Alright, so that's not going to help. Chief engineer. You extend a hand to the chief engineer, who shakes it grimly. The Seneschal hisses and clatters her teeth in disgust, but keeps her distance. You've made the right choice, says the chief engineer. Let me show you around. Oh, man. Leads us to the north side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. You pass through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints, as fierce-eyed rats shoulder the derringers and salute the chief engineer. Soon you come upon a small colony. The first thing you notice is a brilliant light beaming out. Alright, efficient fishing operation is set up by the water. Your arrival draws attention. Okay, we head to the barracks, head to the beach, head towards the Rat Star, wait for the War Council. Let's go to the barracks. Okay. You approach the drill sergeant, go so far as to salute her, which earns you a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismisses her troops and offers you a bit of chickenwood jerky to gnaw on. There's more of us below ground, she explains, but not enough. The cavies are bigger, and there's more of them. We're better with weapons, but we haven't got the stuff to make them with. Most of us come here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish, and we can nibble the chickenwoods, but we can't make guns out of trees. Okay. Let's wait for the War Council. Offer assistance with strategy, offer to attack the cavies yourself, offer guns, you'd rather not be directly involved, but you can spare some scrap metal, shot, and maybe a deck gun. Let's try to attack them ourselves. You gave clear orders, your navigation was impeccable, but it seems the cavies got wind of your intention quickly enough that they were able to man the guns of their grounded pinnace and give you a bracing dollop of what for. Their ship is already sunk and its crew provides tiny targets. It's an impossible battle. The shame of being defeated at sea by a brace of guinea boars is bad enough. Worse, however, are the several members of your crew who complain that the triumphant weakening of the cavies now haunts their dreams. Took 2 damage, we lost 1 crew. Gained 5 terror. Well, you know what? We're done. And that is the end of the episode. So once again, I'm Nightcat. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.